Second grade friends. I'd like you to take a few minutes to make sure that you have everything you need to be successful for today's lesson. First of all, make sure that you have a quiet space at home in which you can work. Also, please grab your Being a Writer's practice book. If you don't have your Being a Writer practice book, that's okay. Don't worry, you can use a pencil and some paper to complete today's lesson. Let's review. Last time that we were together, we learned that a pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun, and we talked about subject pronouns and object pronouns. Today, we're going to learn about a possessive pronoun. We'll learn what it is and how to use them in sentences. Some pronouns help to show what belongs to someone or something. They are called possessive pronouns. Read the pronouns in the word box. These are the possessive pronouns that we'll use for today's activity. Let's read them together. My, his, her, its, our, your. Let's read the first pair of sentences together. The bike belongs to the girl. It is the girl's bike. The girl's is a shorter way to say the bike that belongs to the girl. The girl's is a possessive noun, and a possessive noun can be replaced by a possessive pronoun. So which pronoun from the word box above do you think we can use to replace the girl's? Did you think that we could use the word her? You're right. Let's read it back and see how it sounds. The bike belongs to the girl. It is her bike. When we want to show that one female, whether it's a girl or a woman, owns something or has something, we use the pronoun her. Let's keep going with the next set of sentences. The cap belongs to the boy. It is the boy's cap. Which word from the word box do you think we can use to replace the boys? Think for a second. Did you think that we could use the word his? You're right. His is used to show something that one male, a boy or a man, owns or has. Let's try the third sentence set together. The park has a slide. The park's slide is big. What word could we use from this box to replace the park's? Think for a minute and then we'll share. Did you think that we would say its? You're right. Its is used to show one thing that owns or has another thing. Let's read those back. The park has a slide. Its slide is big. Let's read four together. The shovel belongs to me. It is blank shovel. What word could we use in that sentence? I want you to think about a shorter way of saying that something belongs to me. Did you say my? You've got it. Let's read it back. The shovel belongs to me. It is my shovel. Let's read number 5 together. The pails belong to you. They are blank pails. What word would we want to use in that blank? Did you think we might use the word your? You've got it. Awesome job. The pail belongs to you. The pails belong to you. They are your pails. last one. Ready? Read with me. You and I build a fort. It is blank fort. What word would we use to complete our sentence? Remember that you want to show that it's a fort that belongs to you and I, but we should find a shorter way to say that. I hope you said our. Let's read that back. You and I build a fort. It is our fort. You did an awesome job of helping me to replace some words with some possessive pronouns. Okay, friends, I'm going to need some help. We have a story here, but we have a whole lot of blanks, and I need your help finding the possessive pronouns to fill in those blanks to make our story complete. Are you ready to help? Okay. So first I want to look at the box at the top that gives us some options for some possessive pronouns. I'd like you to read them with me as I point to them. Her, his, my, your, our, their. Let's read the first sentence together. Wally and Grace ride blank bikes. Does Wally and Grace tell about one or more than one? It tells about more than one. So I want to think about a pronoun we could put in front of bikes to describe the bikes that belong to Wally and Grace. Look up at that box and think about which word might fit best to complete our sentence. Did you say there? I agree. Let's read the sentence and make sure it makes sense. Wally and Grace ride their bikes. I think that sounds right. Let's continue on to the second sentence. Remember to read with me as I point to the words. Wally has a horn on blank bike. Which word from that word box could I use to describe the bike that belongs to Wally? Remember, he is one boy or man. Let's try the word his. Read along with me. Wally has a horn on his bike. Give me a thumbs up if you think that makes sense. Nice job. Let's read our next sentence together. Grace has a basket on blank bike. Well, which word could I use to describe the bike that belongs to Grace? Keeping in mind that she is a girl or a woman. Did you say her? I agree. Let's read that back to make sure it sounds great. Grace has a basket on her bike. Nice job. Let's continue. What do you have in blank basket? Asks Wally. Which word do you think would fit best? I hope you said your. If you did, you're right. Read with me. What do you have in your basket? Asks Wally. I have 2 apples in blank basket, says Grace. Which word could we use to describe the basket that belongs to Grace? I hope you said my, because you'd be right. Read it back. I have 2 apples in my basket, says Grace. Let's ride blank bikes to the playground, says Wally. Then we can eat the apples. Which word would help us to finalize our story? I hope you said our, because you'd be right. Let's read that back. Let's ride our bikes to the playground, says Wally. Then we can eat the apples. I think we did a pretty good job, but let's read the whole story and make sure that we did a really good job of completing those blanks. Read with me as I read out loud. Wally and Grace ride their bikes. Wally has a horn on his bike. Grace has a basket on her bike. What do you have in your basket? Asks Wally. I have 2 apples in my basket, says Grace. Let's ride our bikes to the playground, says Wally. Then we can eat the apples. You guys did a fantastic job of finding the possessive pronouns to complete our story. Okay, friends, now it's your turn. I'd like you to try to write a few sentences using possessive nouns. It could be about hobbies or activities that you enjoy. You can begin by brainstorming a list of activities that you enjoy and some uniforms or equipment that's involved when you're doing those activities. Take a moment to talk to a family member or a friend at home, or your remote teacher will pause the video and you'll come up with some activities together. After you've brainstormed, I want you to write a few sentences and make sure you're using those possessive nouns we practiced today. Be sure to listen to your teacher's direction on whether or not you have to complete all of the practice workbook pages or some of them. You might be using your skills practice book or a piece of paper to complete the activities.